Hi. Your
Hola.
work is legendary for its kinetics and physical weight. In a 5-minute page, how do you decide when to sacrifice a pretty image in favor of raw, brutal storytelling impact?
What an excellent question. I was telling somebody else that I would give advice to young artists. It's difficult to know when to transition from a good story segment, a vignette, to the brutal of a big fight scene. And I think that comes from learning how to be a good storyteller that I learned as a young artist. And watching films with my father. My father was intrinsic to my storytelling ability, but not because of comics per se, because we watched a lot of films together. And I was young, and when it was bad weather in New York, we could not go out and play. He would teach me sports and everything, how to be a boxer, play football, baseball. But when it was lousy weather, we would watch films together. He wasn't always working. He worked long hours, but when he had time for us, and we would sit and watch films, or at home we would watch them. And he would tell me what was coming next. Watch this, this is coming. And watch, he's about to get hit. Oh. And it allowed me to learn the storytelling ability from film and talking to him. And then when I got into comics, I realized this is a basic stop action film, storyboards, if you know what I mean. But the moment that you asked, which is an excellent question, is just being able to smooth. I always disliked when an artist did not connect scenes well enough. So then when you choreograph a fight scene that's exciting, you can't just all of a sudden go from this kind of a conversation to a big fight over here. There has to be some graduation to it. And I learned that from watching my father draw, but he said it can't be awkward because you need to slowly graduate into this, even if it's indications in the background or earlier pages. There was something that would show Spider-Man is going to get attacked in the next couple of pages. Anything that would smooth the transition so that you go from a conversation like this, all of a sudden, and this explosion in the room, and then you key on the explosion and then the action. There are many times then that artists don't seem to be able to do that or don't want to do that because they feel they're sacrificing the money shot, which I know you know what I mean because you alluded to it. And I think that's what the improvement in the comics industry is, that there's more story and more content as story, less spectacular imagery. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. I try to find the combination of both. And I think I know, pardon me for saying this, I know I'm an average artist. There are many great artists, better than me by far. I'm a better storyteller than all of them. I learned from the best and the guys of my father's age and era, and watching a lot of films with my father. And I learned how to tell a story, and I'm better than I am as an artist, but it makes my art look better.
You actually mentioned your father. You carved your own path long ago, but is there a specific piece of advice that your father gave you about the responsibility of the pencil that still echoes in your mind every time you face a blank board?
On a broader level, he said, there's always somebody better than you somewhere, no matter what you do. Bigger, better, stronger, smarter, better artist. If you understand that, then you will improve. If you think you're great, you will never get great. So always strive to improve. But his advice artistically was less about specifics, how to draw anything. It was learn from everything. We would go take a bus on the subway to a baseball game, and he would tell me, even when we were in the car driving anywhere or at the beach or at the ballpark, he said, look at everything. Because there was no internet when I was young. Look at everything, every person. Look at the eyes, the hair, the camera. Look at the bumper of a car. Look at the tires. Look at the streets. Look at clothing. Look at the wrinkles in your clothing. Pay attention to this. He says, that's the best camera in the world. And it was never about doing it well. It was, remember it. Because when you can unconsciously draw all of these things without needing reference, then you'll be able to tell the story, because that's the part that you're not good at yet. But you're good at the art, then you can use it as a tool for your storytelling. So it was, and I'll give you an example of how it's changed. My wife and I will go to airports, we'll sit in airports, my wife will read, and I will just watch everybody, I watch the world go past me. Every character, every human, a little child, an older woman, and I've used some of these people in the work that I do. He said to me, your eyes and your head and your brain are the best cameras in the world. Use it and remember everything. So the answer to your question is, I soaked up visuals all my life, and I learned from that, and then the storytelling came after. And to combine the two, combination of quiet scenes and spectacular choreography of battle scenes, the combination of the two, I think I've got it down so well that I'm known for being a great storyteller, and I'm very proud of that.
You should.
Thank you.
In an era of digital perfection and AI, what is the one human flaw or specific tactile detail in hand-drawn art that you believe can never be truly replicated by a machine?
I think you answered the question. It's a human element that if it becomes replicated by a machine, I hope I'm retired long before that. I don't want to think of it as that way. Now, I think I'm a better artist than I was, and I will improve more. I don't know how that will affect AI. I don't know if AI will affect me. I hope no. I like pencil, paper, erase, especially eraser. And I don't want to think of computers or AI replicating from my original thought from deep down in my head, in my heart. I hope not. If it happens, then humans will go extinct in 100 years, 200 years. I hope that's not the case, but it's such an excellent question. I still say the human element plays a part in my business, in film. You need to originate an idea from the deepest part of your soul and your heart. And I'm hoping it lasts until I'm done working. Then I can scream and yell at everybody afterwards, after I'm retired.
You, thanks to your work, you've been able to travel all over the world to different cons. Is there a specific moment with a fan or even at the convention that is very deep in your heart? If you could tell us.
It's consistent with all of the young and old wishing me condolences over my father passing, and including me in with my father, which is, I don't think that's fair to my father, but the reception, the heartfelt reception and regards of these young people all over the world, young, that have seen my father's work, and then say, you and your father are inspirations to us, and so on. That is the most heartfelt wish, and I can't get enough of it. It's wonderful. And even my son and my wife, my sons and my wife hear it, and that's so special. Young people from anywhere in the world will say the same thing about my father, and I think either they haven't met him, but they've heard of him, and those that have met him say wonderful things about him. He was just a sweetheart, and I'm glad to be a part of that.